Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome to the Royal Daily Tea. So today we're going to talk about the service of Thanksgiving and all the interesting juicy tea that went down. We're going to cover the Royal Freeze Out, the Royal Vixen, and the Royal Fashion. So sit back and relax, get yourself a beverage, and let's jump into the Royal Daily Tea. So as I mentioned in my previous video, Meghan Markle is an actress and she is playing the part of the Royal Vixen, the royal villain, and she's wearing that role proudly like a badge. She has decided, if I'm going to be cast as the evil royal, I'm going to play it to the hilt. Because as we know, Meghan Markle loves attention. Whether it's bad attention or good attention, it doesn't matter. Just get her good side and make sure you take a really good photograph. So when she showed up for that event, guys, she knew all eyes were going to be on her. This is not a surprise. She also knew she was probably going to get booed. Again, this is no surprise. Harry and Meghan, they're on social media. They read the papers. They say they're not doing it, but we all know that they are. So we know that they know they're not liked. Now, I do have a friend who was at the event, and he told me that the audience was very much booing and it was extremely loud in person. However, when they were broadcasting the event, I noticed that the cathedral bells were extremely loud. They were almost deafening, where you couldn't hear the broadcasters. So my friend told me that it appeared they put speakers like up to where the bells were playing, so it would drown out the sound of booing, because the newscasters and the broadcasting stations were anticipating a backlash and they were trying to alleviate that, supposedly. I don't know if that's true. When she pulled up to that event, guys, she was going to put on a show. Here I am, the royal villain, at your service. You know what I mean? She was going to make it count. Come on, it's showtime. It's been 2 years, guys. She has to put on a show. So when they pulled up, they arrived around the time that Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice and also the Wessexes were still, ascending the stairs. So there was a mix of boos and cheers. Now, like I said, I do have a friend who was in the audience and he said the boos were very loud. You could definitely hear it. But in my personal opinion, when they went into the cathedral, it wasn't as prominent as it was on the way out. On the way out of the cathedral, it was extremely loud, and you could definitely hear the boos. So as Meghan gets out of the car, you notice immediately she's wearing this kind of dishwater off-white beige ensemble. She was wearing a royal coat dress, is what I call them. To me, it looked like she took a dress out of Kate's closet, that she was dressing as, I'm playing the part of the Duchess today. I'm going to wear my hat and my gloves and I'm going to play the part. I'm a royal today. But again, it didn't really quite work for her, to be honest. The coat dress was a little weird shapen. And to be honest with you, she looked like Inspector Gadget. And it was totally fitting, because a lot of people believe that they saw some hidden microphone or some wires that she was hiding in her dress. So I was completely laughing at her, Inspector Gadget, showing up for the royal event. So I don't know if that's true. If I can find a photo, I'll try to put it in here. But yes, a lot of people did see some really weird protrusions, we will say, in the chest area of her dress. And again, if you're going to hide a microphone pack, her normal style of dress would not cover it. But again, I felt like she just borrowed a dress from Kate, took it out of her closet, was playing the part of the Duchess, and was really trying to, make herself look presentable. Now, I have to say, her makeup and her hair were impeccable. Personally, did not care for the dress. I didn't think the color was very flattering for her. but there's a reason why she chose this color. Guys, she was wearing suffragette white. It wasn't 100% white, but it was in the same family. It was kind of like an off-white. But the symbolism, in my opinion, wasn't missed. We all know that Meghan has these political dreams and aspirations, and she was showing up for this event in her suffragette white, which is a feminist color like all the power political women like Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, you know, all these women wear. Now, Meghan and Harry were well aware that they're not liked, that they've had an extremely low approval rating, and you could feel the tension in the air. It was like the minute they showed up at the top of the staircase, you literally felt the freeze, the royal freeze, the royal sub just happened. Now, people were overly polite, but it was a very fake polite. It was a, hello, how do you do? Have a good day. People were not going out of their way to interact with the Sussexes. And let me tell you, when Meghan got to the top of the stairs and she had to go through that procession, it was like, and action. Her smile came out like the Cheshire cat, and it was literally maniacal. Like, she had the biggest, fakest grin I've ever seen in my life. And she was going through this procession, and they were getting the royal cold shoulder. Now, they did have Zara and her husband Mike Tyndall were up at the very front, but you notice Mike Tyndall really didn't even give Harry the time of day. Zara was really the only one who briefly interacted with the Sussexes. They also had some other people at the front, and again, it was a very, you know, surface level, polite conversation. Now, Peter Phillips was also there, and he completely ignored them. Completely ignored them. And I was like, wow, he was freezing them out. Now, look, this was my absolute favorite part. I don't like Meghan Markle, but I have to hand it to the woman. She can play the part. What's that saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Girl, let me tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to walk into a room knowing you are not wanted and you are not liked. And that's a very big room of hundreds and hundreds of people. That is a huge cathedral, and it was packed. We all know that Meghan is not a ride or die chick, that she has dumped and burned her bridges along the way. She doesn't have a lot of friends in this place, okay? People don't like her. They don't want her there. People blame her for a lot of stuff. But so for her to show up in the lion's den full of her not friends or family, it takes a certain kind of person to be able to walk into a room like that. It takes a lot of confidence to walk in and face what you've done. And this is not what Meghan normally does. We all know that Meghan has burned her bridges, honey. She ghosts people. She's got a graveyard full of people she's done and buried. You know, her friends, her family, her associates. You know, Meghan is not a ride or die chick. She uses people until they're not useful, and then they get discarded, okay? So she's walking into the lion's den. She's wearing the badge of the most unliked woman in the UK. She is the royal family diva. She is the royal family villain, and she's going to give them a show, okay? So my favorite part was when she starts to walk down the aisle. There's this little section where Harry and Meghan are kind of walking by themselves. You guys, you could have heard a pin drop. She had on that Cheshire cat fake grin. Harry looks miserable, and she is walking down the aisle with swagger. She is a swinging those hips. I kind of felt like they needed to play the RuPaul song, "You Gotta Work, Cover Girl." Like, she literally looked like she was working the runway. And boy, was she swaying those hips. Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. She acted like she was on a cat call, a fashion show, but she was working the room. She knew that people were giving her dirty glares. She was getting frozen out, and she loved it because it was all about her. It was all about Meghan. Harry looked like he was about to cry in the corner, throw his toys out the pram. Definite sourpuss look on his face. Remember, he's living his best life. They're super happy, but he looks miserable. So as they walk down to the aisle to get to their seats, you know, you see Meghan kind of corralling him into the aisle. She's like, okay, Harry, move over. You're blocking the camera. Hello, you're getting in my way here, son. So they finally sit down, and that's when Harry starts to lose it. That is the moment that number 6 realized, I'm irrelevant. I'm a non-essential royal. I am tier 2 royal benchwarmer, right? We always call them the royal benchwarmers. The real royals are on the right, they're on the left, and you could tell he's having a little bit of a tantrum. He's feeling sorry for himself. He's looking up at the sky. He's got the sourpuss look on his face, and Meghan is sitting there with that dumbass grin because she doesn't care. She doesn't care that he doesn't talk to his family. She doesn't talk to her family. Who cares? Meghan is not about family, friends, and loyalty. Like I said, she's not a ride or die chick. She's got a whole graveyard full of past buried relationships. I mean, her poor father is probably watching his daughter on TV from his hospital bed. The poor man just had a stroke. She can't even pick up the phone, call or text her little daddy. But yet she can parade around, boom, chicka boom, down that aisle with that fake little smile on national TV. So you can tell that Harry was definitely feeling his consequences, his royal regrets. Oh, this is my new normal. I'm sitting here with the non-essentials. This sucks. And his face, you guys, he was miserable. Okay? That's not a happy guy. He did a couple things where he was trying to act like, oh, we're having such a good time over here. I'm going to make a little joke. But no, he wasn't. Okay? He wasn't. And the sad part is you could see the tension in Kate and William's face. And Harry, I believe at one time, looked over and William didn't even give him the time of day. I don't even think he spoke to Charles. It seemed like his family had absolutely nothing to do with them, that they arrived and they left because as a royal, they arrived separately ahead of everyone else. And of course, Harry's now part of the crowd because he's not essential. So he has to be feeling that pain, that longing. I mean, he hasn't really talked to his brother and been in his presence for over a year. It's sad. Right? So as they were walking out, you could tell their body language was different, a little bit different than when they arrived. And this is where you could hear the boos. The boos were extremely loud when they were leaving the cathedral versus when they were walking in. Because again, when they were walking in, they had other royals there. So on the way out, they were leaving kind of on their own. And you could definitely feel the energy was different. And Harry looked defeated. He looked very upset. He looked disappointed. He looked sad. And I did feel bad for him, but at the same time, you reap what you sow. Meghan didn't care, okay? Her facade dropped just a little bit, but not enough to get to care, okay? She really didn't. And it was just really sad for me, the two brothers. You know, as much as we talk about it, I would love nothing more than the two brothers to heal their family. But it's very clear during that interaction, I don't think it's going to happen during the Jubilee. It seems like William is making sure he is far away from Harry and that these two events never coincide with each other. So let's talk about the fashion that happened at this event. Now, of course, Kate, the VIP, always looks gorgeous. She wore this beautiful pale yellow dress, a beautiful hat. I believe she's worn the hat before. Her hair was immaculate. She was lovely, but she was not my best dressed. Then we had actually Princess Eugenie. I thought she looked beautiful. I loved the shape and the style of the dress. I don't know how I feel about the orange. And she did have these black accessories, which again, to me, it kind of felt like Halloween. You know, she looked like a pumpkin a little bit. If she would have lightened her accessories with like gold shoes or beige shoes and maybe a matching fascinator, to me, it would have looked a little bit better, but it was almost more of a fall time look because we are slowly leaving spring and approaching summer. So I do appreciate the chance that she took with the pop of color. I mean, it was a very bold color. I love the color. However, I just felt the accessories were wrong. Now, Princess Beatrice, y'all, she was lovely. She was wearing, again, the royal coat dress, which is the new uniform that Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, in my opinion, brought back into popularity. So even Beatrice took a page out of Kate's book, and she was wearing a beautiful kind of a slate blue coat dress, and she paired it with a light gray shoes and handbag. And I really like the fact that she didn't wear black, because I think black would have darkened it up too much and made it more of a fall outfit. So she wore these kind of almost silver gray shoes with her hat, and then of course the matching fascinator. But the winner for me was Zara. I loved Zara. She's so vibrant and pretty. I love the fact that she's very bold. She wore a fuchsia dress with a lavender fascinator, hats, and handbag. Gorgeous. Again, I loved the pop of color, and she had a little tan. She looked beautiful. She seems like a very vivacious, down-to-earth person, and she is one of my favorite royals. Now, I think Beatrice came in at number 2, and then, of course, Kate. Kate's always, you know, the VIP. Poor little Meghan, she really was trying to turn into the Kate Middleton, the Duchess, but she ended up looking like Inspector Gadget. I'm sorry. Meghan, you're a beautiful girl, but that outfit, in my opinion, it just didn't work for her. Again, it looked like she was hiding some wires. I don't know. So guys, what do you think? What did you think of the service of Thanksgiving, of Harry and Meghan getting booed? And do you think that Harry and Meghan received a royal snub? Who is your best dressed person at the event? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because it really helps me out. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, please make sure you connect with me there and check out my website, The Royal Daily Tea. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.